And this is the Women Techsters Masterclass session, and uh, our facilitator Mary would be here very, very soon. If she's not, let me just quickly check again.
Hi, Ore,
Hi,
I'm
Mary.
here.
Oh, okay. Yes, I just thought that you're here, so I'll make you a presenter right now.
That's okay.
So,
Thank you.
all right. Yes. Thank you very much, Mary, once again. So, before we go into it, I would, just like to hear a lot from us. Please make use of the chat section, for all conversations. So, just let's hear, how was yesterday's session for you? What was one major thing that you learned from yesterday's session? Please ensure that you are muted. Please, everyone, like we said yesterday, all of our videos have been we are not allowing anyone to turn on their video, just to ensure that there is decorum and everything in the meeting. So please make sure that your mic is muted even as you join the meeting. So let me hear you from the chat section. What was something that stood out for you? Okay, Deborah says she cannot hear me. Can any other person hear me? You just let me know in the
I
chat
hear you
section
loud
if you
and
can.
clear.
Hello, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So let me know if you were here yesterday. What did you learn yesterday? What was something that really stood out for you from yesterday's session? Just let me know right here in the comment section. What was something that really, really stood out for you in yesterday's session? What was a major take home for you from what our facilitator Mary said? Yes, I saw some people saying some things about accessing and getting access to the recordings. You will be given access to recordings once the masterclass is over. So please have patience. You'll be given access to recordings. You get all of the materials for this masterclass. So the masterclass is still ongoing. So would like to just get feedback from you. What was something that really stood out for you yesterday's session? Just go ahead, introduce yourself. This is who I am. This is where I'm from. Please,
Hello.
making use of the chat section. Everyone, please, would be making use of the chat section. Please, we would be making use
Hello,
of the
please.
chat section.
My
For
chat
all.
section is not working. I don't know why, but I can't see my chat section working.
All right,
And I
hi,
also
Vivian.
wanted to say something. So can I say it now? Yeah, I wanted to. Okay, hello. So I'm Vivian Poku from Ghana. I am a digital marketer and I use my skills for business development. Yesterday's section, especially the practical section, which I'm now to practice, makes me know that, yeah, AI is the future. And I think with Microsoft Azure, I can do so much. And I'm so thrilled about this great opportunity given to me to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Vivian. Hi everyone, please, just for the sake of the recording and for the sake of decorum, please we'll be making use of the chat section unless and absolutely unless you have to unmute. Please do not unmute. Thank you. So once again, if you'd like to share something that really stood out for you in yesterday's session, kindly make use of the chat section. Just introduce yourself and put whatever it is that you learned from the chat section yesterday. I know Mary took us through a whole lot in yesterday's class, from talking about the personnel to the Azure data, lake storage, and the synapses, the characteristics. It was a whole lot, speaking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, the differences, how each of them work, the Microsoft AI portfolio, so much. So I know there's something that must have really stood out for you in yesterday's session. So I can see Oluwatobi already saying, good morning, Mary. I learned a whole lot and I was more intrigued with the extent to which AI and machine learning can impact our world today. I hope to start using the resources deployed to improve my work process and self-improvement processes. Okay, thank you very much for that, Oluwatobi. I'm pretty sure you learned so much as well. So if you'd also like to, just talk about what you learned in yesterday's session, I can see some some of us who were in yesterday's session already here. So please just see the chat section to just introduce yourself. What did you learn? Was something major that stood out for you? I can see Deborah saying, "Good morning, I'm Deborah from Nigeria. Yesterday's class made me know that with Microsoft, you are unlimited." Wow, that is a good one. And I remember Mary mentioning how that your ability to imagine is actually the skill that would change the future. And we saw just a lot as regards what AI is doing in terms of cognition, in terms of how we see, how we learn things, and it was just a whole lot. So I'll just like to hear from every one of us. What did you learn? I mean, this is a master class, so we want to assume that you must have learned something, learned how better to use a particular tool, or seen something in a better light. So kindly share with us one or two things that you read. I'll be pulling out Mary's bio shortly so that I'll be able to read it. Once again, I'd just like to welcome everyone to the Data Science Masterclass. And our topic still remains advanced social media analysis, unveiling insights through data exploration and visualization. And of course, our beautiful facilitator remains Mary Oshinowo. So I will be reading her bio very shortly, but I would really love to hear from us, things that we learned in yesterday's class. I mean, we had a practical session and it was quite a lot. So just let us know one or two things that stood out for you, how you learned better how to use chat GPT, the machine learning applications, and so many of that. So well, you can just keep chatting. Well, you can just write that in the chat section. I would just quickly read Mary's bio for us all so that we can see. All right, so Mary started her career developing applications for a leading job portal in Nigeria, after which she joined Procter & Gamble, where she led several projects, including the setup of manufacturing and warehouse management systems, network and voice infrastructure, enterprise resource planning integrations, Salesforce automation, and image recognition solutions across Middle East and Africa. She also successfully led P&G's Sub-Saharan Africa IT organization for P&G, which includes 11 countries. Since joining Microsoft, she has designed, implemented, and integrated cloud solutions, leading transformations in data, advanced analytics, and AI solutions for public sector and commercial enterprise customers across various industries in Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, and Kenya, ensuring long-term value and customer success. She received her first electronic and electrical engineering degree from Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm also a proud alumni, and received the Best Graduating Female Award. She also has an MBA from Oxford Brookes University and is certified as a project management professional, ITIL Service Management Professional, Azure Data Analyst Associate, Data Engineering Associate, and AI Engineering Associate. In her free time, she loves to learn. She trains, coaches, and coaches recent graduates and professionals on data analytics and AI. I know that was a lot. And I remember everyone was reading yesterday. A lot of people said, "Oh wow, that was a whole lot." And yes, I agree. So you can tell that Mary is packed. She has a whole lot to deliver for us in the second session of Data Science Masterclass. I can see some persons already wrote some things in the comments. So I'll just quickly read it before I hand over the mic to Mary. Good morning, everyone. I'm Margaret from Nigeria. I learned a lot about various tools and platforms to use as a data person, especially the cloud services provided by Microsoft. Even though I was unable to sign into Azure, I got to explore other options and cloud services rather offered by Microsoft. Oh, that's a good one, Margaret. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, I can see one more. Greetings, my name is Angela Nwako, joining from Nigeria. I learned a lot yesterday. I got to find out that there are more data analysis tools apart from the common tools like Excel, Power BI, Python, and Microsoft as the AI. Awesome, amazing, amazing. Wow, thank you so much to everyone who contributed. Okay, Juliet just wrote has. Quickly, let's read that. So Juliet says, "Hello, I'm Juliet, a resident of Cape Town. I found yesterday's class to be highly informative and eye-opening. The session revealed that there are numerous possibilities beyond coding alone, and I realized the importance of engaging my imagination to unlock full potentials. Awesome. I now understand that by harnessing my creative thinking, I can accomplish remarkable things in various domains, transcending the boundaries of coding itself. Wow, that is a whole lot to it. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you everyone for sharing. I know that yesterday's class was informative. My notepad was full. So I think it's time to pass the mic to the person we are all here for. Hi Mary, good morning.
Actually, we're all here for you. I mean, all the participants, I'm here for you. How are
Yes,
you?
thank
Good
you
morning,
so much,
Ore.
Mary.
Good
I'm
morning,
very well,
everyone.
thank you. Yesterday's session was amazing. Oh, like my
Lovely.
notepad is full right now, and I'm sure a lot of people can also comment the same. So we'll just be kicking off, I believe, where we left yesterday. So the mic is yours, Mary, and just quick announcements to everyone. So just like we did yesterday, we would also be posting attendance. So please make sure you fill in the attendance. That's where when all the resources are going to be sent, that's where it will be sent to. So please make sure you fill the attendance. And also, Blessing mentioned yesterday that I would like to get feedback from everyone about the whole masterclass session, how it was for you, how we can make prospective ones better. So we're putting a feedback form, in the chat section towards the end of the masterclass. So please stay tuned and look out for that. I will post the attendance right now. Mary, over to you.
Thank you, Ore, and hello once again, everyone. And thank you very much for all of your feedback yesterday, as well as you sharing your learnings. Margaret, I see your learnings. Angela, I see your learnings. Juliet, I see your learnings. This is really good. I'm very happy. Deborah, also, thank you. So this is good to see that all of the talk yesterday did not go in vain. And I'd like to learn more from you. What ways you're using the lessons you've learned yesterday in subsequent weeks and subsequent months. So don't hesitate to share via LinkedIn, through the Tech for Dev team, because the whole essence of learning is actually to use it to deliver value, because that's when you can say that you've been able to get the true benefit from the learnings. So we'll do like a quick recap of what we learned yesterday. And I'm hoping that I know that some people mentioned that they were still having trouble with getting some of the accesses. If that's the case for you, don't worry too much. Just follow through today and then try again to get the access after the masterclass. You have the GitHub repository. The GitHub repository is something you can always go to after the masterclass and follow the guide. There are step-by-step guides there. And then you would also get the slides, I believe. And from the slides, you can see some of the prerequisites that you need to do, which may not have been mentioned on the GitHub. And then you can also see some other troubleshooting steps that you can take as well, or you can also learn that from today's session. So looking forward to coding, or rather to working with you today. Do we have volunteers who would share screen today before, after I go through a summary of what we learned yesterday? Anyone wants to share screen today? Yes. Okay. Cool. So lovely. Okay. We've had difficulty in signing up with MS Azure. Yeah, I think I addressed that already. Your card name does not match with the name card. As for training was what is okay. Lovely. Okay, so let's for Mary, who you're having issues with the fact that the name Azure is saying that your card does not match with the name card. Try another card. Typically, the whole purpose of the card is for validation to prevent spams and bots. But another thing you can do is go through the student approach. You have that option to register without a card when you go through the student approach, the link I shared yesterday. The only difference is the student sign up is offers smaller Azure credits. I think it's about 100 and something compared to the other one that's about 200 and something. Or you can try another card. Sometimes works as well. Okay, so let's go right in. Thank you for staying here with the cards. I've used all my cards. I've used student approach, but it still took me to confirm my identity with my card, Margaret. That's not right. It shouldn't. Okay, I'm just gonna post the link here that talks about the student approach again. Shouldn't, because that's the whole idea of having a different route. Okay. Can someone share the link to the GitHub? Sure, I will. Okay, that's the link. Yeah, but like I said, don't focus on the account. If you don't have the Azure account, just follow through, and then whenever you get that sorted, you can always try it out with the GitHub guide. So I'm going to share my screen now so that we can go into a recap of what we learned yesterday. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Sharing now.
We can see your screen now, Mary.
Awesome. Okay. So yesterday we went through an eye-level architecture of the way we as data scientists and data analysts would ingest data from multiple sources, whether it's on-prem, it's in the cloud, it's in a software as a service application or device, or whether it's in an IoT device. And then this can be ingested into a data warehouse. The data warehouse that we recommend from Microsoft is the Azure Synapse Analytics, because it's a unified data platform that allows you to do several things, such as it makes it easy for you to leverage the built-in ingestion capabilities to connect to 100+ sources. And then it allows you to do data warehousing, data engineering, data science. You can explore data in petabytes, petabytes amount of information. You can also do your BI within it, or connect it to a BI tool like Power BI. The other thing is you can leverage Azure Machine Learning or cognitive services to augment the data that you have with AI. Now, we mentioned that there are several cognitive services, and cognitive services are actually machine learning pre-built models. And those cognitive services are based on the fact that we see a lot of organizations using they have similar use cases, and so we try to package that into cognitive services so that they don't have to rewrite the code and rebuild stuff. They can easily leverage the cognitive services to quickly achieve what they want to achieve. And then we also mentioned the concept of the Azure Data Lake. So when you use in the Azure Synapse Analytics to ingest the data, you're ingested it into a storage called the Azure Data Lake storage. And that's where you can input different kinds of data, unstructured data, structured data, Delta format, Parquet format, CSV, any like most formats, images, PDFs, you can have them within the data lake, and then you can connect them directly to Azure Synapse for further analytics or to Azure Machine Learning for training the models or to cognitive services so that you can easily leverage those pre-built models to and augment data to enhance it in a way that is going to be more meaningful and will bring more insights to your business, and then you can visualize it and report it in Power BI. So those were the key tools we talked about yesterday. And somebody asked a question actually that you work in the fashion industry and you do a lot of fashion analytics and you like to get more insights from like some websites that you might not necessarily have APIs. And I did mention that if they don't have APIs, or you're working with, sorry, if they have APIs, developer APIs, you can connect to those. Otherwise, you can use web scraping tools. But another thing you can also use is OpenAI. So OpenAI currently has APIs that allows you to connect to web data that's available on the web. And then with those the open APIs, you're able to get insight from data. Unfortunately, we might not have so much time to go through um, the steps that you would need to take for that. But there's another GitHub repository that I would share with you. So this is something that you can possibly go through in the future. This one is a search. Yeah. So the way it works is you have the different data sources. It could be on the web. Here you're using the Bing API to connect to it. It could be in a SQL database. It could be in a blob storage. So blob storage is like a data. So data lake storage is a kind of blob storage. But blob storage is the what do you call it now? The the more comprehensive name for those kind of storage services. And this GitHub accelerator shows you how you can leverage the cognitive services such as text analytics, translator, just like we're using in our own, but also computer vision. And then you can search through the data and then bring the data into a bot that people can you can raise put in questions or queries and the bot will answer that for you. So this is another GitHub repository that is really cool. Yeah, just going to share this. That in chat. Yeah, but this is more like a bit advanced from what we're going to do today. So let's just stick with the beginning. This is just for further learnings and how you can achieve some of those other use cases. So let's get back to our recap. But the key thing there is fundamentally you're leveraging Azure Synapse. You're also leveraging Azure Machine Learning, as well as cognitive services, which are pre-built Azure Machine Learning models, and you're leveraging Power BI or an application like a bot service or some other application that you want to use for the end user to connect to. Okay, so we also talked yesterday about the fact that there are different personas that you'll be working with typically as a data scientist or as a data analyst, and they use different tools. And we said we're going to focus on the data scientist because that's the purpose of this masterclass. And we're going to focus on Azure Synapse Analytics, which is common to I mean, with it, you can do data science and you can also do your ingestion. And then we're also going to leverage Power BI as well. So we went to the architecture. Our data sources we're using for this accelerator is Twitter and news. And to be able to connect to those sources, we're using the developer APIs provided by those sources. And then we're going to connect that data, bring that data into Azure Synapse. And we mentioned that within Azure Synapse, we have the storage layer, which is Azure Data Lake Storage. We also have the ability to connect to cognitive services. Here we're using text analytics, translator, and maps. And then we're going to process the data using the Spark pool within Azure Synapse Analytics and then bring it to Power BI. We I'm going to use a notebook for this, and the notebook can be found in the GitHub repository that I shared the link to. I'm just going to close this one. So this is the GitHub repository. Now, when you go through the GitHub repository, it's telling you about the solution accelerator, why it was built, what's the importance, what's the goal, and then it's telling you how it can help you in get instant feedback on products and services, enhance your company image and PR, keep up with competition with innovative ideas, and then it has some prerequisites. So the prerequisites would include an Azure subscription, which we talked about yesterday, and within the Azure subscription, we're going to deploy some resources. These are the resources we're going to deploy. But it doesn't require you to go ahead and deploy all of these resources. This just tells you that you can follow these links to get additional training and support on all of these resources. But what the beauty of the repository of this GitHub repository is that you can click this deploy to Azure button, and it takes you directly into the Azure subscription that you have created, and it helps you to deploy it. So to deploy all of those services that you need, except for Power BI, of course. For Power BI, most of you are familiar with it, but if you're not, what you need to do is download Power BI Desktop, and you can leverage Power BI Desktop for connecting to data. That will be towards the later part. So can I get a show of hands if you are not familiar with Power BI so that I can know if I need to dive into that more? Can just raise your hand. Okay, no hands raised. That's good. That's good. Okay, cool. Now, it has the same architecture that I had in the slide. This is what we're going to deploy. And then the Power BI dashboard is going to look something somewhat like this, but of course with the data that you're using, you're querying. And then we have within the Power BI, in fact, I think I have one up. Let me just share. So for this one, I used CBN and dollar because if you check on what are the trending topics today, people are actually talking about either CBN or the dollar exchange rate or fuel scarcity or fuel price. Because just I think 2 or 3 days ago, yeah, on Thursday, there was the floating of the exchange rate in Nigeria, and what that meant is dollar to naira went from 400 and about 50 or 60 to 600 and something, which is the largest drop we've ever had in the history of Nigeria. And as such, it's gonna impact different industries in different ways. Some areas positively, some areas negatively, because some of our deficits are going to increase in naira value. And of course, the amount of naira you need to pay on things that were possibly gotten by official rates before increases. But then it also helps with our what we have in reserve, because previously we were spending a lot on trying to augment the difference between the official rate and the actual rate that it would be based on market forces. And then similarly to fuel subsidy, we recently got the announcement from the president on the removal of fuel subsidy. And because of that, fuel has moved from 180 naira to somewhere averaging around 480 to 500. And so that's also impacting a lot of things. So people are interested in what's happening around those two topics. How does it impact their business? How can they take advantage of some of those announcements, and what opportunities are arising? How does it impact their business and all of that? So those are the topics that I focused on to do the analysis in Synapse, and that. So we have the dashboard, we have the further analysis here in Twitter analysis, and you have the news articles here. Now, this is what we're going to develop, and you see the Power BI sample dashboard here. So in the GitHub repo, this is the template. The only thing you need to do is to put in a connection string. So once you download this template, you would put and I'll show you how you can clone the repo or simply download it. So if you want to simply download it, you can definitely click on this, and then there's a download button here to download the raw file, which you can then use on your Power BI desktop. But another thing that you can do is to clone the entire repo. So if you go to your command prompt, type in Windows CMD. In Windows search, you type CMD to bring up this command prompt for you. And then you can simply do a git clone. When you do a git clone, you copy the home page of the repo, which is what I sent in the link. You go to code, and then you copy this. Once you click on this, it copies it, and then you go back to command prompt, and then you paste that here. You can just right click and to paste. So it clones into your users, and then your username, what do you call it, directory. But if you don't want it to clone into here, you can choose a specific directory that you want it to go to. So for example, I have a directory that I put all of my repos in. So mine is in documents and local repo. So all I need to do is I don't put it directly on the user profile. So I put it on my documents and local repo. So I copied this, copy this whole thing, and then I go here to, before I run the git clone and all of that, I will go here. And then CD into it. So CD is basically changing the directory. So I CD into the new location, new folder, and then I can then do a git clone, that's the command, and put in the code. So copy this and then put it here. So you press enter, it runs, and then when that runs, you will see the, okay, I don't have it cloned here, but so I can easily do that. So let me just do that. I'm going to run it, enter, and then it clones into that repo. Can you see? It has created a folder there called Azure Social Media Analytics Solution. And once it's done, I would start to see every single thing that is in this repo replicated in the directory, in my local directory, in this folder. So it's still cloning, so that's why it's not showing up. But once it's done, I'll see everything there. Okay, cool. Now, the next step is to follow the guide. And the guide says to note that Azure Cognitive Services require you to accept the terms and conditions of responsible AI when they are first provisioned. If none of the cognitive services were provisioned previously in the Azure subscription, it's necessary to create a temporary cognitive service, for example, language service, to accept the AI terms. So we mentioned this yesterday. Before you do this deploy to Azure, go to your Azure portal. To your Azure portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new one. Or instead of me opening a new one, I think I'd rather someone else shares their screen so that we can do it together at the pace of a learner. But I have one created here. Sorry, this is my resource group. Go to resource groups. I created one, tech for dev. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So this is the resource group I created, and then I created a language service. I deleted it already, so you can do the same just to accept the terms of responsible AI. You only need to do that once in your subscription. So to create, remember I said you first create a resource group, then you go to create and create a language service. So you click on language service either here or here, and then it brings up this language. And then you click on create. I already have some here, so let's leverage one of the learners to continue. So I had some volunteers. Yes, Sally, I haven't started. Don't worry. You said I think you're moving too fast. I haven't started. I'm just showing you high level what we're going to do, and then we're going to start with one of the users. I know I have that propensity to go fast, which is why I prefer to use someone, one of the learners. There way to get an account that neither works or school for Power BI desktop or service. For Power BI desktop and Power BI service, you will need to, you can use the same account that you used to log into Azure. It's usually your personal account, right? You're not using your work account. And the alternative will be to leverage the SQL admin username and password that you create when you're provisioning the service. Don't say the government weapon fashioned against me. Don't worry, no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. How do I save the above repo in my GitHub account for easy access later? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that just before we continue. So I showed you how to clone the repo to your local PC. Another thing you can do if you want to save it to your own GitHub account is to fork the repo. So okay, I can't fork it from this particular account. Let me go to my other account. This one is a Microsoft account. I'm just going to open GitHub from my okay. So this is another repo, the other one I sent to you, but I mean, it works similarly. You can just, you see at the very right, top right, something called fork. And then when you click on it, you can create a fork into your own environment. So you'd select the GitHub account that you want to fork it into. Mine is already forked into that my personal GitHub account, so that's why it's grayed out. But if not, you would see an option like this, and then you can simply select the account and then create a fork. And then when you go into the account, when you go into your profile, we'll be able to see the repositories under repositories. So for example, I can see this one because I forked it into it. Okay. I hope that answers that question. Okay, Estoye, you have a question? Estoye, go ahead, please. Okay, all right, or Blessing, could you help give presenter rights to some of the people who signified interest in volunteering?
Okay,
yes.
So who exactly? You could just raise your hand so that I can see you, and then I can give you presenter rights. Okay, I can see one person already. Hi, Mary. How many people exactly are we giving presenter rights? All three of them?
Yes, please. So that we can switch in between at different times.
All right, so I've made all three of you presenters, so you can try sharing your screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to you, Mary. Please make sure I fill the attendance.
Okay, so Juliet, I see you've created a language service. Do you want to quickly take us through how you did that so that others can follow along? And well done on doing this.
Thank you. So I followed what we did yesterday. So do I have to go back or?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to recreate it, but you can just show us what you did and like explain.
Okay, so when I sign.
Sorry. Hi, Mary.
Yes,
is Julia the one sharing her screen first? Because it's not her screen we are seeing right now.
Oh, okay. I saw that Juliet already started to share. I thought was
I
who's
can
speaking
stop
right now.
sharing.
Let's have Juliet share screen
Let's
first,
have
and after Juliet,
yes.
we would have someone else. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please help me spell your name. Apoto. Oh, what name would you prefer to be called? I'm speaking to the person currently sharing. Can you help me with your name, the pronunciation, please?
It's Juliet Saki.
Yes, Juliet Saki, but someone else will try to share as well. AKPOTOGHO. Can you please unmute and help us spell your name? I don't want to.
Akpotogogo.
Apotogogo. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so Juliet, please go ahead.
Okay, so yesterday you taught us how to do the subscription.
Yeah, please share your screen while you're sharing us.
Okay, I think it's sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So I clicked the subscription. This is what I got as your subscription one. After that, I registered for storage. There were 3 things: key vault.
Yeah, key vault, storage, synapse. Can you show us how you did that?
Maybe you can show me how to go back so that I can if I have to
So if
start.
you go to search resources at the very top, search resources beside where you have
Okay.
Microsoft Azure and upgrade.
So
yeah,
I come here,
subscriptions.
I click this.
Yes.
Then I clicked on this. This was my subscription. Then I came to resource providers. I clicked on that. Then I searched for what we were told to. It was this. Then I clicked on it and then I registered it here. Then I went next
storage.
to storage. This. Then I clicked on it and registered here. Then the got here. I clicked on it and registered. And the other one.
And then cognitive services. So I think that one is optional, but yeah.
Yeah. Then I also registered.
Awesome.
Those were the 4 that were asked to do.
Yes. Then the next step was to create a language service, which I see you've done as well.
Yes.
So how did you do that?
So to create
Marianne says, sorry, 1 minute. Marianne says, how can we get how she was able to get the subscription? That's what she just showed us. So you go to the search resources at the very top, and then you can type in subscription and you see it. As you start to type SUBS, you will be able to see it. Someone says, can someone send me the Azure subscription link? You'll find it under portal.azure.com. So portal.azure.com is the website to go to, and that's where you do everything in Azure. When you open portal.azure.com, you see exactly what she's seeing on our screen. Okay. Please, how are you able to verify your card? I think we would need to do that after the session, because verifying the card is not supposed to be a hard process. You just put in your card details and ideally you should verify it. But if you're having problems with a specific card that you're using, my recommendation will be to try other cards. One of the things I've seen people say works for them is they are able to use a cheaper cash card. So cheaper cash is one of those accounts that you can easily create, and then once you create it, download the cheaper cash app and then create create an account, and then it will give you a card, a virtual card, and you can use that virtual card. So I've seen that work for a number of instances, but I need you to follow today's session, and then you can try that after, if you are able to. Someone says, I think Nigerian cards sometimes have issue of verification. It's possible, very possible, but they are not charging you. They're only putting a hold on the verification fee, which is like $1, which they won't charge you. They just put a hold to verify the account. So you would, even if you see a deduction, it reverses back immediately. So I don't see a reason why it should be difficult to use a Nigerian card, except the bank itself is making things difficult. But yeah, the other alternative to that would be to use cheaper cash. So let's continue for the sake of time.
Okay.
You use the same card on Twitter Dev Portal. Well, I didn't know that you needed a card for Twitter Dev Portal. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. It's beyond my control. Sorry. Yeah, so the next step was to create a language resource. So you also go to the search resources and services. Create a resource group. Yes, thank you. So yes, search for resource groups and then create one. Yeah, so you did create one already based on the guidance that I shared yesterday.
Yes.
So you put in the name of the resource group, change the region to West Europe, which is closer to Nigeria, and then review and create, and that's it.
Yeah.
Then after that, you create a language service. So the whole idea of resource group is like the overarching folder where you keep all of your services. You might want to separate different projects into different resource groups. Why? Because if you're done with a particular project, you can delete the entire resource group. And when you delete the entire resource group, it deletes all the services within the resource group. You can also choose to delete specific services within a resource group instead of deleting the entire resource group. It's up to you what you want to do. But this is the purpose of, this is one of the rationales that you want to go with when you're creating a resource group, separated by project or separated by access levels if you're working within an organization. So so within the resource group, you clicked on the resource group and then you created a language service. Can you show us how you did that? Yeah. So this is the resource group. Then you go to the search resources, click on search for language. You can, she already has language here because it's a recent service. But if you don't have it there, you can go to the search icon, the search pane, and then search for language. And then you create one. Yeah, you see the create button there. You create one, give it a name. Select the subscription. You can click on it, create. You don't have to create one. Just click on it. Yeah. Yeah. So when you click on create, it brings you here. You don't need the custom features for this particular use case. You click on continue to create your resource. Please go ahead and click on continue to create your resource. Yeah. Yeah, you put in the resource group that you have created. You put in the region, West Europe. You can select it, that's fine. Yeah, put in the region West Europe. Yeah, give it a name. And then put in a price in here. You can use the free, that's fine. Okay, you already have one free, that's why it's not giving you an option because you can only create one free per account. And then scroll down. And then you need to accept this box. So this is the box that allows you to accept the terms of responsible AI. With this, once you have done this in your subscription, you're able to create other language services without it asking you to accept the terms of responsible AI notice. And then you click on review and create at the bottom. Once you create and review and create to validate, then to bring a create button, and then you click on create, and voila, you have completed the prerequisites. So this has been done by Juliet. Thank you very much for that. Is there anyone that has any question? Angela says, I'm lost. Where are you lost? The subscription step.
I was able to open. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I was able to finally open through the text for div. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Okay, Angela, your line is breaking.
I've been able to open. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I've been able to finally open the Microsoft Azure, but I don't know the next step.
So the
what
next
Gillette
step,
did.
The next step is to go into the search box and search for subscription. So we may not have the time to continue going back to the things. This session is going to be recorded, so you can always go through the recording after. But hopefully you can, even if you get lost at any point, just pay attention to what we're doing, because then when you go through the recording after and you follow the steps, it will be easier. But what Julia just showed you now, you go to the search resources bar at the very top and type subscriptions.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you go to subscriptions, then you're able to register the resource provider on the left. So we're not able to go through the steps again because we just did that.
Okay.
But just follow through and then you can always review the recording after.
All right.
For the sake of time for all of us. Yeah. We want to finish the solution accelerator. Okay, so the next step, Juliet, is for us to go to the GitHub repo. We've satisfied all of the prerequisites. And then, do you have this cloned, or should we go ahead and clone it to your PC?
I haven't done that, so you can.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so we can learn together. So go to command prompt on your Windows search bar, type CMD. Yeah, click on it. Then put, do you have a specific folder that you want to put this in?
Yes.
Okay. So you can create a folder first. Don't take it, okay, that's fine. It's not too far. I will have said you shouldn't let the path be too long.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's even better if you put it on that document directly on, or maybe on that tech for dev, but don't let the path be too long. You can put it under anywhere, but just don't let the path be too long.
Okay.
Okay, so you can double click on the top where you have the document masterclass. So double click on it. Yeah, just double click exactly. So that way you're getting the link. So you can copy that. And then CD, type CD, and then paste that. So CD basically changes the directory. So now within your command prompt, it's seeing that you are in the new directory. Then enter. Awesome. So the next step is to click on Git clone. type glycone, yeah, LNE, yeah. Then you copy from the Git repository. Yeah, go to code. Yeah, you can see the link there. Copy and then paste it in the command prompt. You need a space between clone and HTTPS. You need to navigate. Yeah, you won't be able to use the, because it's command prompt, so you can't really use your mouse the way you do in other folders. So you just need to use the back button and then space. Yeah. So enter. Yeah, so now it's copying the repository into your local folder. Now, what that does is that it also it copies the notebooks that you're going to need for this accelerator. It copies the Power BI template, and then you can easily upload it into Azure from your local folder. So let's go back to the GitHub repository. Yes, so we're going to follow the steps there. If you scroll down, yes. So within the home page, you see a deploy to Azure button. Once you've satisfied all of the prerequisites, just like Juliet has done, you can click on the deploy to Azure button, and that would deploy the resources that you need. So click on it. Now, select the subscription. Can you confirm that this is the account where you created the language resource?
No.
Okay, can you change it? Can switch sign in with a different account? Do you have spaces within the code? It's possible that check before the two. There's space there. Okay. Cool. So you can select the resource group now. And then I think every other thing is good. You can always change the suffix name if you want. It has to be 3 characters, but you can leave it as it as well. Next is to review and create. So what this does is it deploys all of those resources that you will find on the GitHub repo. So on the GitHub repo, it tells you that it's going to deploy the Azure Snap Service. It's going to, Synapse Analytics. It's going to deploy, just going to the GitHub repo myself. Validation field, please pick a different name. The subdomain name SMA translator Z12 is not available as it's already used by a resource. That's strange. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. We're going to change the, go back to the basics before review and create. Yes, so let's go down. Let's change the suffix to something else. So instead of Z12, you can use something else, like maybe JSU, like your name, or something else. It needs to be 3 characters. Okay. So let's try it again. Yeah, use lowercase, sorry. Use lowercase. This is already taken. Okay, this is strange. Can you try something else? You can use something longer. It can be, it doesn't have to be. But this one is saying that storage account name is taken. This is very strange. Okay, let's try that. Okay, this is good. Validation passed. Then click on create. So it's going to take a few minutes to create all of those resources because there are quite a number of resources there. We have the Azure Synapse Analytics, Text Analytics, Translator, Maps, and yeah, those are the 4 key resources it's going to create. So within 2 or 3 minutes, hopefully, it should be done. In the meantime, someone says, may we do the create resource again in Azure? Okay, can you duplicate this tab, Juliet? So we're not going to impact this one. So no, you right click on the current tab. When you right click on it, you should be able to duplicate it. Right click at the deployment field. Additional details from the online API. Let's see. Workspace request validation field. Why would that be? Okay. Let's see. Raw error. Can you click on raw error? No. Okay, yeah, click there for more details. Yeah. Raw error. Click on raw error. Workspace request validation field. I'm just going to type that workspace request validation field. I'm just going to search that over the internet. Confirm their client. Firewall rules govern workspace will be reported as permission error. Talking about firewall rules. I don't think that should be the case. Workspace request validation first. While creating Synapse workspace. Okay, this doesn't seem right, but let's do this. Let's redeploy. Let's click on redeploy.
Where is it?
Besides delete at the very top. Yeah, I want you to go to edit template. So this is the first time you're using this subscription, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there shouldn't be any IP issues, but let's just see. Yeah, go to edit template. Let's see. Can you scroll down? You can scroll down slowly. I just want to see if there. Sorry, go up a bit. Allow connections for more IP address to your workspace endpoints. That's fine. Can you scroll down? Yeah, continue scrolling down. Continue. Okay, continue. Wait, sorry, wait. There's a part where it says firewall rules. Can you go up a bit? Allow all, okay, that's fine. Scroll down. Yeah. Okay, everything seems fine. Everything seems fine. Okay, discard. Go to discard. Because I don't think you need to make any changes here. Yeah, just try to review and create again.
Is this one okay?
Oh, wait, allow all. Wait, allow all. Can you change that? Yeah, change it to true. Yeah, then review and create. Wait, we need to put your resource group. Yeah, missing information. Didn't select the resource group. Yeah, so it won't recreate the resources because you have the same content. So that's a good thing about templates. Just start from where it stopped the last time. So yeah, click on review and create. Great. Damakini is saying that I'm hoping for those of us whose cards have been declined or not verified, we will not be charged at a later date. Even if your card was verified, you would not be charged. So definitely if it's declined, it will not be charged. And the 200 is not the cost. The 200 is what Microsoft is giving you for free. If there's any charges that you see, it's $1 that will be reverted immediately. Okay. No need to be afraid. Okay, what's it say now? On the Synapse workspace, can you click on error details? Bad request, where you see bad request. Customer subscription needs to be registered with Microsoft.SQL resource provider. Can everyone see this? So you remember we registered Microsoft.synapse.storage and all of that, but we didn't register Microsoft.SQL. So you see, I'm learning from you. I've learned now that Microsoft.SQL is important. So I'm going to add that to the prerequisite. Okay, so now let's go and register that. Go to subscription and resource provider. So you've learned something about troubleshooting, which is good. You can refresh. Elizabeth is for you. Yeah. Elizabeth, Deborah, I really don't know why that is happening for you, but hopefully we can fix that after the masterclass. Just focus on the masterclass, and then we can explore other options we can use for the card. Apologies for that.
It has registered.
Awesome. So let's go back to the template and just go back.
So where do
You
I go to the languages?
No, you can go to the GitHub repo, I believe. You have a back button on this browser, right? So on this tab, are you able to go back?
On this one?
Yeah. Are you able to go back to the, go back? Yeah. Ability applicable to all cards in Nigeria. But some people have tried it already and it worked. So I don't think it's all cards in Nigeria. But like I mentioned earlier, you can try using the cheaper cash route. Yeah. Margaret, you're lost. Can you type where you're lost in? So maybe someone can help in chat, or I can help in chat. Currently, what we are doing is we are registering the resource provider Microsoft.SQL. So I'm going to paste again the prerequisite from yesterday. I've added the Microsoft.SQL to it. Okay, so you can click on the deploy to Azure. Yeah, choose the resource group. Use the same suffix you used before, Juliet. Review and create. Right. Okay. Okay, the one that we're having issues with before is done.
And don't keep quiet. You care about your family's reputation. Very much, don't you, Amma? You are worried that your own family will have to suffer. But you are not concerned about my daughter. You don't even care. She is also your granddaughter, Amma. She's really my blood. She's Yoranda's beloved daughter.
Hi, Mary. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can, Nore.
Okay. Just needed to be sure that there was no network issue. Once again, please, everyone, ensure your mic is muted. Please, if you're not speaking, ensure your mic is muted.
Okay. The deployment should be completed soon.
It's completed.
Awesome. So go to resource group, click on go to resource group. Okay. So if you can scroll down, you can see here that we have a language resource. That language resource that you have, can you go up a bit? The Masterclass one, right? That was the one you created initially before we deployed the repo. So you can go ahead and delete that, because the only reason why we created that was so that we could accept the terms of responsible AI. In order to delete it, you need to click on the language service itself. That's the first one you created, not the one that starts with SMA. Yes, that one. And then at the top, you see delete. Yes. Okay. So you can go, yeah, that's good. So you can, now we see that the language, the Azure Maps has been created, Synapse Workspace has been created. There's a language service for this particular accelerator, SMA Text Analytics Juliet. That's what we're going to use. There's a translator service as well. There's Key Vault, and then there's Packable. Can you scroll down? Scroll down. Yeah, and then there's a storage account. Typically, if you are not using an accelerator, you would have to create all of these resources one by one, which is also pretty straightforward. All you need to do is, you see what the names you're seeing in the type, you go to create or search resources at the very top, and then look for the service, and then you create it. That's how to create it, just like you did for the language service. It's actually pretty straightforward. But the reason why we're using the template in GitHub is so that you don't have to start doing all of this creations one by one. The template helps you to create it at once. So if you go back to the GitHub page, Juliet, we're done with the creation of resources. No. So yeah, you can open it in a different page. You can type GitHub. Once you type GitHub, it should bring it out from your history. Just start by typing GitHub. Yeah, that's it.
is taking care?
You're not sharing the GitHub. You're sharing the Teams. Although it seems to be frozen.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Okay, cool. So if you scroll down, you'll see that you're done with what's needed on this page. The rest is basically an explanation of the architecture as well as the dashboards. But there's something else it says after the deploy to Azure button. It says go to the deployment guide. It says go to the deployment guide to set up your Azure resources for this subscription. So the deployment guide, if you click that link, don't click it yet. But if you click that link, it will take you to the subfolder under this GitHub repo. I want you to actually scroll up so that I can show you where that subfolder is. Yeah. So can you, the third folder here, deployment, that's it. Yes, that's it. So you can click on that. Click on the third folder, yeah, deployment, that's it. So this, under deployment.md, MD means markdown. So MD, markdown is usually used to, in code, is used to signify text that you want a user to be able to read in a user-friendly format. So it won't look like code, but to look like a normal text. So if you click on the deployment.md folder here, click on it, you see the next steps that you need to take. So it says to clone or download this repository and navigate to the project's root directory. You've already done that. You've cloned the repository. And then the next step is to deploy the key vault secret. So here, we're going to put all of the keys that we're going to need to connect to the different services. We're going to put the Twitter keys. We're going to put the News API keys. We are going to put the keys to the different Azure services that we just created, translator, maps, and I think Synapse. I don't think we need Synapse, but yeah, text analytics. So if you click on if you go down to tell you what are the things that you need to put in. So to tell you these are the things you need. And then if you go further down, it's advising you on where you can find those. So it's telling you that, okay, in the text analytics service, if you click on text analytics within Azure portal, this is where you can find it. Continue scrolling down to tell you that in the translator service, this is where you can find the key. Continue scrolling down. In the map service, this is where you can find the key. So it's telling you all of that. Then it's telling you that there are some additional steps that you need to take. No, don't, you're going down too much. Can you scroll up a bit? Up a bit. Yeah, stop there, please. You can, just after map, after it shows you the map key. Yes. So in the security access, it's telling you what you need to do to ensure that your services are talking to each other. You're going to add Azure Synapse to Azure Key Vault, and it's telling you this, how you're going to do that. So here there's a step-by-step guide on what you need to do, and I'm going to take you through that as well. But in case you need to do it yourself, you can always follow the recording or go through the step-by-step guide. If you don't have a chance to go through the recording, it's all in GitHub here. So you can follow the guide as well. So scroll down a bit. Yeah, we're going to add IP address to network settings in Synapse. Continue going down. And then we're going to update storage permissions in Azure Storage account. Continue scrolling down. And then here we're going to attach a requirement.txt file. What that means is attaching some libraries to our Spark cluster. So let me explain this a bit. Remember I told you that when you're leveraging Python, more often than not, you're going to be using some libraries. The libraries are code that has been put together by other developers, usually using the standardized format that you can easily integrate within your notebook, your Python notebook or Spark notebook or whatever language you're writing. So usually you can define those libraries, like put down the name of the libraries you want to use inside a text file, like a .txt file. So here we have what we call a requirements.txt file. When you bring that requirement.txt file into your notebook and into your cluster rather, or your Spark pool, and you run it, it's installing the libraries. It's installing the libraries that you have set up in the requirements file. We'll see how we'll do it so that it makes more sense to you. But I'm just trying to explain. Remember we said that we had several libraries. So we had Panda, we had NumPy. Those were several Python libraries that I was talking about when I was giving an explanation yesterday. So that's what we're going to see in action today. So you can scroll down. So this just tells you how you can upload those libraries which are present in the requirement.txt file. Continue to scroll down. And then it says to create the Key Vault link service. We'll do that within Key Vault. Continue scrolling down. We'll upload a country coordinate data set. This one is a data set that you find within the repo that you have cloned. It has the list of countries and the coordinate, geographical coordinate. We're going to upload that into the data lake. You see how we'll do that also. And then the next step is to upload the notebook. The notebook is where we have the code, the Python script that we're going to use for the analytics. Continue scrolling down, please. So once we're done uploading the notebooks, we're going to run the notebooks. But an automated way to run the notebook is to use pipelines. So pipelines would run the notebook itself. I'll show you how to do both. Run it manually and run it through pipelines in an automated way. And then the last step will be to set up our Power BI resource. So that's it. And we're done. So let's go back to the very top. Yeah. So let's follow. I think we've done the first step. We need to follow the second step, which is to deploy the Key Vault secret. So you can click on deploy to Azure. Although what I would recommend that you do is if you want to deploy it, right click on it and deploy it, like opening a new tab. Otherwise, to take out this GitHub repo like it did the last time. Okay, that's just done that. Yeah, you can right click and open the link.
Auntie, good morning.
Cool.
Hi, Dokuma. Hi, Dokuma.
If you're not speaking to this meeting, please be on mute. Auntie, good morning.
No, come on, a lot of
Okay. So you're seeing two resource groups, and I'll tell you why. When you create a Synapse workspace, it creates by default a managed resource group for Synapse specifically, right? It's not it's just something that happens whenever you create Synapse workspace. So you can ignore it. It's an Azure thing. And then, yeah, you can use the previous resource group. So here we need to specify the key vault name. So in the previous tab, where you have Azure subscription, the one just before the GitHub repo, yes, we can get the key vault name from there. So under the services that you've deployed, under type, you can see key vault. So click on the key vault resource. Yeah, copy the name at the very top, SMA Key Vault Juliet 62OL. Yes, copy it. You can put it somewhere in Notepad, or you can put it here directly. That's fine. You can put here directly as well. But the reason why I say you keep it in the Notepad is in case this fails and you need to put in the content again. You don't have to start going through the resources. You can just copy it from here. Okay, cool. Then the next thing is to put in your Twitter API key, the Twitter API secret key, the Twitter access token, and the Twitter access token secrets that you copied yesterday. So what you can do is you have already saved it somewhere. You can stop sharing your screen, go and pick it up from wherever you saved it, put it in here, it will redact it, which means it will hash it, and then you can continue sharing. So in the meantime, as a recap to everyone, what we've done right now is to go into the repo and follow the steps in the repo. We went to the GitHub page, the Azure Social Media Analytics Solution Accelerator, and we used the deploy to Azure button in the home page to deploy the key resources we need, which are Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Text Analytics, Azure Translator, and Maps. The next thing we did was to go into the deployment folder, which you find is the third folder on that at the very top of that GitHub page. In the deployment folder, you see a deployment.md, which is a markdown file. When you click on that, it gives you further steps that you need to take for this deployment. The further steps is one, to clone or download the repository and navigate to the project root directory. We already cloned the repository. The next step is to deploy the Key Vault secrets. So what is Key Vault? Key Vault is where we recommend that you store your secrets for security purposes. Anybody that is going into your subscription that you give access to, of course, nobody can just go into it. If you give access to other people that are working together with you to view your subscription, your research groups, and the services that you have created, they won't see the keys or the secrets that you have set up. They will see something that is hashed and that is referring to those keys and secrets, because the keys and secrets are kept in a key vault. So the key vault is like a bank, look at it like a bank vault where you keep money. Nobody has access to it, and except you grant them access. And even you, for example, if you want to review the keys or the secrets, you have to recreate a new one. So it's that safe and secure, and that's what we usually recommend for security purposes. When we go further into the notebook, into the Python notebook, you see how we are using those secrets that we are keeping in the key vault. And I'll show you how you can, you can put it directly instead of using key vault, but that's not the best security practice. The best security practice
Hi,
is
Mary.
to put it in a key vault. Yes, hello, Hore.
Yes, I just want to confirm you're not sharing your screen now, right?
So I'm not sharing my screen.
All right.
Juliet is
Just wanted
sharing
to
her
confirm.
screen, but she's temporarily not sharing because she's putting in Twitter keys and secrets, which are personal. Yeah.
Thank you. Just had to confirm that for someone who said it on the chat. So please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So once you're done, Juliet, you can reshare. Juliet is currently putting the keys and secrets
Can I ask
in
something?
keywords. Yes, please.
Yes, there are a number of secret and token, and I have only 3 of such. I have token, sorry. I have access token, I have access token secret, but it's
Okay.
asking for.
Yeah, you should have 4. So in the Twitter developer account, right? You have under consumer keys, API
Yes.
key and secret. When you click on regenerate, it should give you the API key and it should give you the API secret.
Okay. API
You're not
key.
seeing that?
Okay, I've seen API key. Okay. Let me copy that.
I'm just going to share my screen. When you're done, Juliet, you can take over. But I'm going to share my screen to show everyone where we're at. Here is where we're getting the keys and the tokens in Twitter. So you have settings, you have keys and tokens. The keys and tokens is where you have the API key and secret. And that's where you also have the access token and secret. When you click on regenerate, you can find both the key and secret here and both the access key and token and secret here. You copy that and put it in the key vault deployment file. Because once you click here, you open something like this, then you need to put the key, the secret, that's the API key, and the API secret, the one gotten from here. And then you put in the access token and the access token secret, the one gotten from here. Rebecca and Aputogono, you said Ed is catching fire. Oh no, it's Atomila that said Ed is catching fire. Yeah, Anura Aputo. Sorry. Now the work we they do. But it is part of the learning. And hopefully you can go through the GitHub repo and the recording to pick up on anywhere that you may have missed. But just keep on following. You'll be surprised at how much you're able to catch up when you do follow the recording later. Yes. Angela, your head is blown. No blowing, please. Okay. Do we need a break?
Yes.
Okay. How many minutes break?
Okay, before we go for the break, which one is the new new API key? New API key.
New API key?
News API key.
Oh, yes. So the news API key was the one from the newsapi.org. You must have copied it yesterday as well. You go to newsapi.org, and then you get the API key. Usually you'd have logged in and created an account, and then you can click on get API key.
No. We check that on Google.
Just go on your browser.
Yes.
Type newsapi.org.
Newsapi.org.
And once you log in, you can get the API key. So, oh, I'm not logged in, that's why. But if you haven't registered yet, I expect that you'd have registered yesterday, so you can just log in. Otherwise, you would need to register, and then you can get an API key. Okay, so let's go for a break. How many minutes? Or Juliet, can you advise? I said Juliet, Blessing.
Hi, Mary. If it's good to everyone, I think we can just go for a 15-minute break. 10 to 15 if that's not too much.
Yeah, 10, please. 10. We still have a lot to cover.
10. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So hi everyone. Would be going for a very short break, 10 minutes. Please make sure you use it to rejuvenate yourself. Get water, get some snacks, get some sweets, and we'll be back in 10 minutes, which is exactly 12:54 p.m. West African time. Thank you, and we'll be back in the next 10 minutes. You don't have to leave, by the way. You could just, stay here. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any, I'll be here waiting. So if you have any questions, you can, you can share that. No snacks.
Yes, and once again, I'll just like to reiterate, if you haven't filled the attendance, please make sure you fill the attendance. It is very, very important. And you would want to stay till the end of this masterclass because we still have a lot of things to, tell you and, cover. And we have, our community manager come to talk about our community here at Tech for Dev and, what we do and a lot of that. So you really want to stay till the end. Thank you.
Okay. So where do I get a text analytics key?
From the text analytics resource. If you click on text analytics.
Also,
I don't think, have we done that? Did we go through that before?
No.
Okay, so let's wait until everyone is back. Let's wait. Let's just wait. You can go on break as well. Right now, I'm only attending to questions that we may have covered, but someone else missed before. So it's your time to ask if you have any place where you were lost before, like Angela. You can ask. Mentioned here that Angela, I think I saw something from creating a resource page in Azure. Do you want to share your screen, Angela?
Okay. Can I talk since Angela is not there?
Sure, please go ahead, Ayo.
Okay. So actually, I would have loved to share my screen, but it's not just been well today. So I don't know, that yesterday when we were doing it, you sent some screenshot to the chat. screenshot to the chat, and even all through that yesterday, I could not access the chat room until now. So I don't have access to the screenshot.
Okay.
How to enter the link. I wouldn't mind if you can do that, or you just give me the steps how to start from where we.
So I'll share my screen. You can take a screenshot of it, because what I shared in the screenshot is basically what I have on screen, which I'm gonna share now. So you can take a screenshot of it yourself.
Okay. I just did this one now. Can you hear me, Mary? I've done this now.
Okay, you've done the screenshot. Okay. So what else? You said you needed a screenshot. What else?
Okay, after this, after the previous page you shown, yes. What is next?
So these are the steps you need to take.
Okay.
Have you have you gone through, have you done any of this? Like, have you created a Twitter developer account or a news?
So,
okay.
I was going to ask, okay, sorry, please. If I'm
No,
going
go
to
ahead.
create the Twitter, if I'm going to create the Twitter account, I will just log in from the web. I don't need to enter from Twitter page, right?
Yeah, you can just go to developer.twitter.com. This is the link.
Okay. Okay.
On the web.
Okay.
In your browser.
Okay. Okay. So what next after this? Once I just created this, that means I'm on the same page.
So once you go to developer.twitter.com, you need to go to where you get the API key, the API secret key, the Twitter access token, and the Twitter access token secret. And that's what you find here. So this is my twitter.developer.com page. Here you would, for the free account, you will have one app, right? When you usually to take you to the overview page, and then you can see the app under project app that has been created. You see it under overview, and then if you click on settings here, you can see the app settings. So going to the settings, you see an option for settings and keys and tokens. Under keys and tokens, you can find the API key and secret, and you can find the access token and secret. You need to note that down.
Okay.
You'd probably need to click on generate or regenerate to get the key and secret.
Okay. Okay.
Once you're done with that, you do the same for the news API account. Create an account on newsapi.org and get API key and note it down.
Okay.
Then the next step is to also create an account on azure.microsoft.com. Yeah, signing up for a free subscription. And on this portal.azure.com is where you're going to create a resource group. Within that resource group, you're going to deploy a language service. At the very top, you see search, and then you simply put in language, deploy a service, accept responsible AI terms. You're also going to go to subscriptions within portal.azure.com. You search for subscriptions, you see it. You'd go to resource providers, register the following. So you can simply type Synapse, Storage, Key Vault, Cognitive Services, SQL. Once you've registered those, you're good to go.
Okay. Once I register the 5 of them, Synapse, Storage, Key Vault, and Cognitive SQL. Okay.
Yes, you're good to go. You can follow the steps in the GitHub repository for the remaining.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Funny enough, the GitHub repository actually tells you what to do. It tells you all of the steps. The only part that is missing on the GitHub repository is it doesn't tell you that you need to register these resource providers. And it's usually just assuming that you probably have been working with Azure before, and so maybe you'd have done it at some point in time. But more often than not, if you're just starting with Azure, you need to have registered, you need to register it so that you don't run into errors during the creation of the resource process, just like we did when we were sharing with Juliet. And then what we discovered is that we were missing this registration of Microsoft.SQL. The moment we did the registration, we were able to complete the creation of the resource.
Okay. So does it have anything to do with creating a repository on GitHub? I think I already have an account.
The repository, you don't need to create a repository on GitHub. If you want to put the repository within your own GitHub account, you can fork the repository by going to, okay, I think we are out of break time, so we need to go back. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do that by clicking on this. You see at the very right, this icon here, which you can use to copy it into your own account. And then you can also clone the repository to your local PC such that it copies all of the content in there into your own folder on your local drive. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing now because we're back from break. So in case you went on break and you saw us presenting, we have not done anything from where we stopped before the break. I was just answering some of the questions that were asked on what we've done before. So you're good. No fret. So Juliet,
hi Mary, thank you so much for that. And thank you Mary. That was really amazing of you to do during the break. So I believe we've been able to catch up for those who were complaining in the chat that they've been lost and they're quite behind. So we'll just be kicking off from where we stopped. And once again, I'd just like to reiterate, please fill in the attendance. If you know someone who went on break and probably can't see them, you might just want to give them a buzz. But I'll just hand the mic over to Mary now. Hi, Mary.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, over to you now.
Okay. So we can go back to Juliet sharing our screen. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone is back. So just a reminder, we have about 1 hour left. Okay, so for the text analytics key, you're going to go to the text analytics resource. You can go to the tab where you have Azure subscription and then go to the resource group. You can type on resource groups, search for resource groups at the top. Yeah. You find the text analytics resource or service that you created. That's the third one. Yeah. It's also called language. So within that, you see keys and endpoints. By the way, the guide on where to go is on the GitHub repo. So you see a screenshot of exactly where you are right now, Juliet. So at the very left, under resource management, you see keys and endpoints. At the left, keys and endpoint. Under resource management, you see features, you see keys and endpoints. Keys at the left, at the left. Under resource management. So you have overview, you have activity log, you have access control. At the left. Can I share my screen so that I can show you? Okay, yeah, you can also see there. but you need the keys as well, right? That's why I said you should go to the keys and endpoint at the left. Just go to the left. You can see it under resource management. Yes, right below that. Can you see resource management? Yeah, exactly there. You're on mute in case you're speaking, Juliet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just copy it. You don't have to show the keys. You can just copy it.
Key 1.
Yep. Yeah. Key 1. It's fine. Key 1 or key 2 will work, but you can just use key 1. Then go back to where you're deploying. Yeah. Paste that there. Then the endpoint. So yeah, you see it there also, the last one. Okay. Tech analytics region is West Europe. You had that already, but you can see it here as well. Yeah. You can just copy it. For the translator key, you go to the translator resource. So just like you set for exactly. Go to the resource group. Look for translator. Yeah. You should see keys and endpoints. So you put in the key and you put in the endpoints. So here you're using the text translation endpoint, the first one, right? If you ever get confused on what to do, it's there in the GitHub repo. It tells you what you need is the text translation endpoint, not the document translation endpoint. So copy the text translation one. You see it, you see text translation. In front of it, you see HTTPS api.cognitive.microsofttranslator.com. You can copy that. Can you see it, Juliet? Did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Now we can. I couldn't hear you before.
Okay. Is it this one? The text translator?
Yes. The region is the same, West Europe.
Okay, West Europe.
You can copy it from there as well. Yeah.
No.
And then the maps.
No.
Maps. Okay.
No.
Hello.
Okay, so the maps, I go to the resource.
No, not yeah. And then maps. First one is the first service.
Okay.
So you should see, if you scroll down. Here you should see a key actually. Under authentication. Scroll up a bit. Scroll up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, authentication, yeah.
Okay. I have client.
You can copy the primary key.
Primary key.
You can just copy it. And then let's just go up to see that we are filled in everything. Before you click on review and create, let's just go up. Okay, I think we're good. So you can click on review and create.
Mommy.
Then click on create. Validation is passed, that's good. Okay, this is good. So while it's deploying, let's go back to the GitHub repo so that we can continue. So we're done with the deploying secrets. What's the step 3? Yeah, stop please. Step 3 is to make sure that we have the right security access set up. So we're going to add Azure Synapse to Azure Key Vault. The Key Vault is what we're creating right now. And for the Key Vault, we would, once it's done creating, which I believe it should be done by now, we're going to go to access policies, and we're going to go to secret permission, and then we're going to give get and list permission to Azure Synapse. What this means is allowing Azure Synapse to be able to get the secrets that we have put in Azure Key Vault and list it when we want to use it to get the access to the services, the translator service, the Twitter service, the news API service, all of those services that we created. So it's just granting Synapse access to those secrets that we've created on Key Vault. So let's go to the Key Vault. Let's go to the template should have been done. You can check the notification bell. I think it's the last one, or you can just check the notification. The notification is the bell at the very top beside your name. You can see, yeah, that's, oh yeah, you can see it. Where am I not seeing anything on what we created? Can you go to the last tab where you have the Microsoft template? It's complete, okay, so that's fine. So you can go back to the resource group and go to the Key Vault. Yes. So here is where we're going to grant access. We're going to go to access policies. Access policies on the left here. And then you're going to click on create. And then give under secret permission, give get and list. It's there down. So you see key permissions, you see secret permissions. Select get and list. Then next. Now we're going to search for the Synapse resource. So you can simply search, put Synapse there. Where you see search by object name or ID, just type Synapse. If you're not seeing anything, you can go and cancel that. And then yeah, well, Let me see. Synapse should have been created already. The name we gave to it. Can you search for Synapse again? It's strange that we're not seeing that, but don't worry, I'm coming. Let's do something. Can you go back? Just before you go back, go to the other tab, the SMA Juliet map, the other tab where you have Azure. We're just going to copy the object ID for Synapse. Go up to the Tech for Dev Masterclass resource group. Then go back one. Yeah, click on the Synapse workspace. The second one. Yeah, so we're going to copy the name of the object ID. So see this manage identity object. This on the after below resource group, location, subscription ID, manage virtual network. Then you can see manage identity object under essentials. Yes, manage identity object. You can copy that. Yeah. And then let's paste that in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So that's what we're looking for that time. So you can just click on it. And then next. Next. And create. Again, these steps are listed in the GitHub repo. You can always follow the GitHub repo to perform the same steps. Yeah. Okay, so the next step, step 3.2 in the GitHub repo is to add your IP address to the Synapse firewall. So we're going to go to Synapse, the third to the left tab. Yeah, you open it here. So we're going to go to networking on the left. Look for networking below settings, below analytical for. Yeah, there you go. And then click on add IP address. Add client IP. Yeah, save. Save at the very top. Although there's an allow all, so for me, I feel that this step is not necessary per se, because there's an allow all rule already. So yeah, let's just follow all of the steps so that we don't run into any trouble. Then the step 3.3 is to update storage account permissions. So you can go to the storage by going back to the resource group. Yeah, you don't have to go back 2 steps. You can just go back 1 step to Tech for Dev Masterclass. Then look for storage account. I think is the last resource on this list. Yeah, click on it. Click on the storage account. Is Synapse strg Juliet 62OL.
This one.
Yes. Okay. Go to access control on the left. You see that below overview. The fourth thing below overview. Yeah. Then click on add. So I'll explain this part, then click on role assignment. So what you're doing in this case is to grant Synapse access to the underlying storage account. There are different roles here. You see reader, owner, contributor, and all of that. This is what we call role-based access control. So you can grant different people different access levels to the storage account. Remember, the storage account is where you put in all of your data, as raw as it may be, PDFs, images, CSV, package, whatever format, just dump it there. And then you can also store your analyzed data back into the storage account. At the storage account, you can have different containers. Containers are like folders where you keep data. You can have like a raw container or a bronze layer where you keep all of the raw data just as it is. Then you have a refined layer, which can be like your silver layer. And then you can have another refined layer, which can be like your gold layer. The gold layer is now the layer that you can expose to like people, business users that want to be able to perform and that want to visualize reports using Power BI so they can connect to the gold layer or whatever layer that you prefer. So it could be this, you might not necessarily have bronze, silver, and gold layer. You might have just two layers. So this is up to you really how you want to do your analytics. So here we're looking for the role called blob contributor, storage blob data contributor. So you can just search. There's a search button there. Use the search button, it's easier. Just you can search for contributor. There are different contributor roles. So the one that allows you to see country, yeah, it's correct, CONTRI. Yeah. So yeah, if you scroll down, I think it has narrowed down the search. See the storage blob data contributor. Yeah, that's it. Storage blob data contributor. That's what you need. Yeah, so click on it and then click on next. Yeah, we're given, so if it's a user, that would be like your username. But if it's a managed identity, you're referring to another resource, which could be like an Azure resource, like the Synapse or Key Vault or Translate or any other thing. So right now, what we want to do is to give Synapse access. So we're going to click on Manage Identity, and we're going to select the Synapse account that we created. So select members. Yeah. Here, you can just click on Manage Identity and choose Synapse to bring out all the Synapse resource. You can click on Synapse Workspace. Yeah, so now it has given you the Synapse resource. If you had different Synapse resources to bring them, then you can just select the one that you are that is relevant. In this case, you have just one, so just click on it. Click on it. You haven't clicked yet. Awesome. So now it has selected it. Then go to select. Next. Review and assign.
Baby, calm down.
It's not easy working on a Saturday as a woman. So kudos to you all, especially all of us that have kids. Belinda, you have a question. Yeah, you've clicked on review and assign, right?
No. I wanted to just acknowledge what you said.
Oh, right. Why? The role assignment already exists. Okay, that's fine. If it exists already, that's good for us. So, and that's probably because we created the storage account while we were creating the Synapse workspace. So you don't need that step. So what's the next step? Set up assets and load data. So here's where we're going to ingest our data. But we need to attach libraries to Spark cluster, which is step 4.1. So we're going to launch the Synapse workspace. So go to Synapse. Okay, yeah, you can go to the Tech for Dev Masterclass, the currently in the storage account. Go to the Synapse workspace. Open the Synapse Studio. So you see open Synapse Studio. Yeah, click on open. So right now we've created all of those permissions or the accesses that we need. And now we are on to the nitty gritty, which is we uploading the data set, we writing the code or leveraging code that has already been written in a notebook, Python code, to do the analysis. And this is where all of the magic happens. So what did Juliet do? She went to the Synapse resource that was created. Within the Synapse resource, there is where you see open the studio, open Synapse Studio. And then she clicked on that and we're right here. So if you go to the very left, you can see a double arrow pointer before home. If you open it a bit, the one up, yeah. Yeah, if you expand it, you see home, data, develop, integrate, monitor, manage. You can go through it afterwards to see what each of them contains. And there's also a Synapse learning part that you can go through. You can, I'll share, I think there's a link to that in the slides that you get so that you can learn more about how to leverage it. But we're just going to focus on how we're going to leverage it for today's masterclass use case. So the next step in our GitHub repo, we are on step 4.3, is to launch the Synapse workspace, which we've done. We are going to, we've opened the Synapse Studio, select linked. So we're going to data hub and we're going to select linked. So if you click on data, yeah, if you click on linked, yeah, this is the storage that we created. So if you click on the storage, you'll be able to see the underlying containers. So this one that has primary in front of it, that's where we're going to store stuff that we're going to use. So we're going to click on that. Yeah, you can click on that. Then you can click on the primary subfolder, which is actually container. Yeah, social media ADLFS. And then here, we're going to upload something. We're going to upload the country coordinates. This is for the geography segmentation that we're going to do. So click on upload. Sorry, before you click on upload, can we create a folder? Cancel this. Yes, cancel this. Let's create a folder. So here, if you click on more, yeah, click on new folder, then call it country coordinate. C, capital letter C and capital letter C for coordinate. So capital letter C country, then capital letter C coordinate. And why I'm saying no space in between. Why I'm saying to use the exact same name is because we're going to reference it in the code, and so that you don't have to start changing the code to the specific name that you've created. This is good. Create. Now, click on that folder you just created. And upload into it. We're going to upload the, no, you've not clicked on the folder. You're still in the root folder because you can see social media ADLFS. Yes, so double click. Now you're in, so upload. Yeah, so you can browse to the GitHub repo that you cloned the other time and look for country coordinates. I think you need Masterclass, yeah. It should be under data. Yeah. Click on it, double click. It should be a CSV file inside. Yeah, that one. Open it and upload. Yeah, so we're done with that step. The next step is to upload the notebook that we're going to use. So launch Synapse. Okay, you've already launched Synapse Workspace. That's fine. You go to develop. So what you know, currently we're in data. So data is where you basically have access to your data resources. You see all of the raw data that you're leveraging within the storage account. Develop is where you do the actual development using notebooks, or you can use the wizard. So here you click on plus. So before we go ahead, let me just explain something. Here you can actually write SQL scripts, post query language. You can have create new notebooks where you can write your Python, or I think, I'm not sure that we have R, but we have Spark. Then you can also import an existing notebook. So what we're doing is we're going to import an existing notebook. So go to import. And then navigate, go back to folder. Back one. Code. Code. Go to code. Yeah, notebooks. Yes, so we're going to bring in all of these 3 notebooks. But you're going to do one by one. So start from ingest process news. Don't do that all together, one by one. Yeah. Marvelous, you have a question. You may ask your question while, Juliet, you go ahead to import the other 2 notebooks. Or do you want to type it in chat, Marvelous? Otiema, you make me laugh. You can blow breeze to these Azure people so you can be validated. After, don't worry, try cheaper cash card. It might work. It should work. Sorry. Today I understand the data science is a data science. Yeah. There's still a whole lot to learn. Okay, this is good. So we have the notebooks, right? So we uploaded a note, have the Python code. We need to create a Spark pool because the Spark pool is a compute that we're going to use to run the code. So it's part of the steps under 4.4. Go to develop, click import to select the all notebooks from this repository. For each of the notebooks, let's attach to Spark 1. Now, when you create a Synapse resource, by default, it creates a Spark pool. If you want to use other polls, remember I told you there were 3 main polls. They're actually 4. But the 3 main ones that people use are the Spark poll for running Python scripts or notebooks generally. You have the SQL pool. Under SQL pool, we have dedicated SQL pool, which has a dedicated compute and dedicated storage for you. And then we have serverless SQL pool. The serverless is not dedicated. You're sharing it with several people, but only will call it whenever you run a SQL query. So when you write a select statement, when you write any other SQL query, that's when it's going to actually be churning up the pool or using the serverless pool resource. You have Data Explorer pool. That's for when you have IoT devices bringing in data, or you want to explore log files to get some further analysis like anomaly detection and all of that. You can leverage the Data Explorer pool. For the purpose of this use case, we're only going to use the Spark pool, which by default is created whenever you create a Synapse workspace. So when you, at the very top, you see attached to, yes, if you click on that, you can see all those pools that have been created. In this case, you see Spark. Yes, so you can click on Spark. Yeah, very good. So do the same for all the others attached to the Spark pool. Yeah. And then the second one. Yeah, awesome. So what's the next step? We've completed step 4.4. We're almost done. We're almost done. Set up the pipelines. In the Synapse workspace, go to Integrate, click on Plus, and choose Pipeline. I see you. I dab for you too. I do work where we did do. Pipeline. Yes. So it says you need to rename the pipeline, change the pipeline name to Process News and Twitter Data Pipeline. I would suggest that you just copy this from the GitHub repo. Go to the GitHub repo. Yeah, scroll down. You're almost down. Scroll down. Down. Okay, yeah, that's it. Process News and Twitter Data Pipeline. So just copy that. Because we're going to refer to it from the notebook. So we want to make sure that we're using the exact name. Very good. Paste. That's good. Okay. What else does it say we should do? Click. There's a curly bracket at the top. Yeah. Yeah, click on that. And then we're going to copy and paste the content of the process news and Twitter data pipeline.json. Where do we find that? We find it in the repo that you have cloned to your local PC. So go to that repo that you have cloned on your local PC, navigate to the code. I think you should find it under code. Go back one. Notebooks. Actually, I don't think it'll be here. No, we're still going to use this one, but not here. Cancel. And just go to, sorry, go, okay, wait, it's not here. Go back to the Azure before code. Yeah. Go to deployment. It should be under deployment, actually. Yeah, just 1 minute. It's not there. Where is it? process news and Twitter pipeline JSON. Can you go to code? Go back to code. Let me see. Let me also check it from here so that I'm not. Go to pipelines. Yeah, I think this is it. Is this JSON? Just 1 minute. Yeah, that's it. So I'm not seeing it because in here you don't have the extension. You can always adjust your folder view settings so that you can see extensions, but that's it. You can open it. You should be able to open Notepad. Okay, if you can't open it here, it's fine. You can open it from the repo itself on GitHub. Typically, you should open in Notepad, or if you have Visual Studio Code, you should open in Visual Studio Code. But you can open it directly from the GitHub repo. Yeah. So if you scroll up, go to code pipeline. Going to the very top, all the way. Yeah. So go back to the root folder. Currently, I'm in the deployment.md folder. Go to the Azure. No, not there, not there, not there, not there. You see where you see main? You can see Azure Social Media Analytics Solution Accelerator. Yes, click there. So that's the main folder. Yes, exactly. You can go to code. Then pipelines. Very good. Yeah, you can open that. Yeah, so you're going to copy all of this code. Yeah. Then copy. And go to, yeah, the Synapse. Yeah, and paste. So you can just remove everything here and then paste it because you have the same name. So it's fine. Yeah. Can you just scroll up to be sure? Yeah, so this is good. Okay. Click on OK. Yeah. So this is fine. It has created the pipeline. Now, if we're not using the existing code to do that, you see all these things you see under activities, right? Can you expand Synapse a bit? No, under activities, you see Synapse, you see move and transform. Yes. So here you can actually bring in a notebook. So this is the pipeline. What this step has done is actually it has brought in this notebook. So what is it doing? What it has done is that the previous notebooks that we created under develop, it has brought it in, and then it's going to help you run it. So within the pipeline, you can bring in notebooks or Spark job definition, and you can run it from here. If you click expand, move, and transform. Yeah, you see here, you can copy data. You can create a data flow. So there are several functions that you can use here. Even under general, you'll find a lot of functions that you would get familiar with as you go ahead in your data science journey. So you can simply drag and drop from the activity pane to the main window and then do some additional activities on that. When you go through the Synapse learning part, it will be easier for you to understand data. Okay, so we're done with that particular step. What's the last step here? Going back to deployment and then we still need to upload the requirement file to the Spark pool. We missed that somewhere. We've not gotten there yet. I don't think we've gotten there yet. We've copied and pasted the content of the Twitter of the JSON file, clicked on OK. We need to publish, but before we can publish, we still need to add the requirement.txt file. I missed that. That's under step 4, step 4.4, step 4.1. How did we miss this? Okay, we went directly to 4.3, upload country data set. We missed step 4.1 and step 4.2, which is fine. So let's go to step 4.1, which is to attach libraries to the Spark cluster. So we go to manage on the very left. Yeah, so here we have the different pools. So remember I was explaining to you before that we have the SQL pool, we have the serverless pool. By default, it creates a serverless pool and it also creates a Spark pool. If you want to create a dedicated pool, you have to click on new and then create a dedicated pool. You specify that it's dedicated, but otherwise you have the serverless pool. Then there's Apache Spark pool, which is what we're going to use. So go to Apache Spark pool, please, Juliet. Yeah, so here, if you over on Spark 1, which is what we attached to the notebooks earlier, there's a 3 dots beside like a pause button. Yes, there. If you click on that, yeah, you see packages. Packages is where we are going to install the libraries we're going to use. Yeah, click on packages and then upload. So we're going to pick up this process is easiest in Synapse. If you're going to do this in other cloud providers, trust me, it's going to take a lot more time for you to install libraries. But Synapse is the easiest that I've seen it done, where you can just upload a requirement file and it will install the packages. So go click on upload and then navigate to the .txt file. So here you're uploading either a TXT file or a YAML file. Go back to the root folder. It should be under code, I believe. Yeah, requirements. That's it, the third one. Upload. Apply. Yeah, so if you can go to that folder and open the requirements.txt file, I just want to show everyone what's included there, what it contains. Yeah, so here, these are the libraries. What libraries are we installing? We're installing Azure Key Vault library. We're installing Feed Parser, MS REST, Azure Core, Azure Cosmos DB. Those are specific to Azure. Tweepy is specific to Twitter. It's a library that allows you to call the Twitter API. Azure AI Analytics is for the analytics resource. So these are all libraries that allows you to interact with different services. So to install it, what we have done now to upload it to the Spark pool means that it's going to install it. So you can close this. That's fine. Next step is to create Key Vault link service. What are link services? Link services allows you to connect your Synapse workspace to other services and leverage those services within your workspace. And to do that, we go to the Manage Hub. Under Manage Hub, we are there. Sorry, you're there already. So just go to Link Services. Under External Connections. So below Spark pool, you see Data Explorer pool, Link Services. Yes. Let me create a new link service. By default, it creates a link service for Azure Synapse Analytics and Data Lake because those were part of the things that you'd define when you're creating a Synapse workspace. So, but Key Vault is separate, so we need to create a link service for Key Vault. So search for Key Vault. Yes, that's it. And then we need to, continue. Continue. We need to give it a name. We're going to give it the name Key Vault Linked Service. I want you to use the exact same name, because if you don't use the exact same name, and this is for everyone, please pay attention. The reason why we're using the exact same name is so that we don't have to change the code. And I'll show you where it is in the code. If you use a different name, then you have to change the code, otherwise you run into error. So Key Vault Linked Service. Yes. Service. No, capital letter S. Awesome. Then test connection. Oh no, select the Azure subscription first.
Is it services or service?
Service, you're good. Select the Azure subscription. So that's fine. Yeah, now select the drop down, yeah. Then select the Key Vault name, because you could have different Key Vaults within the subscription. Currently you have just one. Okay. Then that's fine. System Manager Identity helps you to identify what's the details, like the name, the object ID, and all of that. Then you can test connection here. And if it's successful, you can click on create. Test connection first. You're good. Just test connect. No, down. Before cancel, at the very bottom, you see test connection. Yes. That's good. So you can create. Okay. Awesome. So we're done with all of the prerequisites. And then right now we need to just publish the pipeline. So okay, can you go back to integrate? Okay, before you go to integrate, let's go to develop. Let me take you through the notebooks. Yeah. Ingest process news. Can you click on that? Yeah. So this one, there's something I discovered that you needed to do. So I put it in the ingest process suite in the 7th cell. I put it in the prerequisites under troubleshooting because I faced an error. So in the 7th cell, under ingest process suite, line 10, we're going to add .auth after TWP. Let me just type that in chat. Can you go to ingest process suite?
Say again.
Just go to ingest process suite. This the second notebook. Yeah, scroll down. Scroll down. We're going to the 7th cell. Yeah, hold on. I think that's the 7th cell. Can you scroll up a little bit? Yeah. So here, wait. Here. So can you give me access? I'm going to request. Okay, I can't take control. This I need to remove these properties that is showing at the right by clicking on. There's an icon before the 3 dots. Yes, there's an icon there that is the second one, the next one at the right. Right, no, the next one on the right, not on the left, on the right. There's one that is highlighted. You were there before. There's one that has like a notebook and small settings icon. Yeah, on the right. Yes, click on it. So that gets rid of that property stuff. Very good. And then you can. I want to expand this notebook. So where you see home, data, develop, integrate, I need you to compress that. You know we expanded before. Yeah, collapse it. That's good. So here we have from On the 7th line here. Yeah, can you scroll up a bit? It should be in one of this. I'm not sure if this is the 7th cell. I think it's up. Okay, let's just count. This is the first cell. This is first cell. Then scroll down. This is the second one. This is the third one. This is the 5th one. This is the 6th one. And then the 7th one. Yeah. Yes, yeah. So here from 3P, line 10, from 3P, you have import auth handler. So instead of from 3P, we would have from 3p.auth. So add .auth after 3P. After 3P, yes, dot auth, no space in between. A-U-T, sorry, A-U-T-H. Okay. There's space between 2P and .auth. I don't think so. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to ingest process tweets, process news. Let me explain. Okay, so if you scroll up, here's where we are defining the storage account, which is the data lake account. The file system name is the subfolder, the social media ADLFS subfolder under that storage account. We are not putting them here because in the pipeline, we created parameters and we're going to put those in the pipeline. So here, we don't need to put it. Here is where we're just defining the parameters here. Rather, initiating the parameters here. So we have the key vault name, query, and topic. The query and topic is signifying what you're interested in. If it's fashion you're interested in, here's where you put in what aspect of fashion you're interested in. If it's topic, the topic is like a sub query. So here, what I did was I put Central Bank of Nigeria as a query, and I put dollar as a topic. It could be something else that you're interested in. It could be Russia and war, Russia as a query, and the war in Russia as a topic. So whatever you're interested in, you put it not here, but in the pipeline. When we're going to run it, you see where you put it. Then if you scroll down, yes, so here is where we initiate. Scroll up a bit. I think you've gone too far. Yeah, so here is where we initiate the endpoints and the keys. So here you could easily have put in those keys and endpoints without going to the key vault, but that's not the secure way to do it. The secure way to do it is to store it in a key vault and then call the key vault from here. What is calling the key vault is this token library.getSecret key vault name, and then it specifies the name that you gave the secret in the key vault. So that's why I said let's use the exact same names, because here you see that it's going to use if you the property window, if you can close it again here. I know you closed it in ingest process tweets, but we need to close it in this news. On the right, where you have that notepad and yeah, that one. Yeah, so you can see here we're using the key vault linked service. So that's how we're able to call these secrets from the key vault. So if you scroll down the third code. So here we're basically importing from datetime, which is like a library. We're importing date time settings. If you scroll down again. So here we're initiating the topic, asking it to use the query that we're going to pass on to it. If you scroll down again. You are setting the code that is going to use, the language code that it's going to use. So if you see anything in these languages, it's going to leverage that. Scroll down again. Yeah, so here it's basically talking about how it's going to, it's based on the API calls for the news API page. So this is what is importing. Scroll down. Scroll down. So these are all related to the API calls. You're creating a data frame. This is how you typically analyze data and bring in unstructured content and try to make it structured in a way that you can analyze it. Then scroll down. So these are all talking about how you'd adjust the title length to make sure that if it's more than 80, it's able to truncate it in a way that is still making the information usable. Scroll down. Scroll down. Okay, so Twippy is something that allows you to also leverage the library. And then text analytics here enables you to leverage the text analytics library to analyze sentiment in the news source. So you can scroll down. Yeah, just continue scrolling down. So yeah, so this one does translation. So if you have something in English or another language, you should translate it to English because there's a place up that you have set the default language to be English. Scroll down. So these are all analysis basically. So here it's going to put it in specific format with ID, created date and time, language, and then the content such that you're able to then bring it into Power BI and analyze it. So you can go through the code. You don't necessarily have to understand everything, but it gives you a sense of how some of this data science and this analytics is done within code, Python code. The same thing for the ingest process news tweets. And then the process news and Twitter, the process news Twitter data is the last one. So what does that do? Can you open it? So that one just takes in the first two notebooks and combines it together in a way that this is what we are calling from the pipeline. So when we call this particular one from the pipeline, it goes ahead and runs these first two notebooks. So that's what this particular code here of process news and Twitter data does. So it takes, you see, there's a mspark utils.notebook.run. So it's going to run the ingest process news notebook, the first one. If you scroll down, you see another cell that says mspark utils.notebook.run ingest process tweets. So it processes it runs the ingest process tweets notebook. And then if you run this on its own, it's going to do everything that you need to do. But we prefer to use a pipeline. What does a pipeline do? A pipeline allows you to automate the process so that you don't have to go in here and be running it every time you need to fetch data from social media. With a pipeline, you can set up a trigger and put a schedule to say, okay, I'm going to be getting the data from from Twitter and the news API every, say, 1 hour or every once in a day. But I need to warn you, there are some limitations from Twitter. You can only get on the free account 50 posts per day. So it's better for you to run this at the maximum daily. And the other thing that you need to know is the more often you run it, the more you're consuming resources on Azure. So for you to stay within the limits of the free account, the best thing for you to do is to run it daily at maximum. So if you go back to the pipeline, you see on the very left, that icon that looks like a cylinder. That's the pipeline. No, on the left, You can take that out on the left. Yes, integrate. Right there, yes, integrate. Yes, that's where you have the pipeline. So click on the process news and Twitter data pipeline. Yes. Can you compress the properties column. We don't need that. The one that has yes. So here we're going to run it. So you can add trigger. Click on add trigger. Trigger now, or so you can click on trigger now. Sorry, cancel first. This is my bad. I should tell you. You need to publish everything. There's a publish all button at the very top before you trigger. So publish all, what it does is that it saves it. If you don't click on publish all, the work that you have done will be gone and you have to redo it. So click on publish all. So as many times as possible, you can publish. Yeah, publish. Thank you. Can you elaborate on the Twitter limitation? You'll find it in the Twitter, developer.twitter.com page. For the free account, there's free, there's basic, I think, there's enterprise, and they all have limitations on the amount of posts that you can call or the amount of posts that you can make to Twitter, because you can actually automate posting content to Twitter. You can make your code actually post on behalf of a user content to Twitter, I think up to 1,500 tweets per day or per month. I can't remember exactly, but I think per day, if you're going to make API calls using the free account, it's 50 posts per day. So you can find more details on Twitter. Yeah, so the publishing is done. So add trigger. And then here to tell you to put in the data lake account name, the file system name, the key vault name, and the query and the topic. So for the data lake account name, just put in the storage account. Go back, you can go to where you have the storage account. I think it's the previous tab on your browser. Copy the storage account name. Yes, that one. Put in the file system name, which is this social media ADLFS. You can find it in the storage account as well. Go to the storage account. Yeah, that one. This is the key vault. We were in the storage account somewhere before. Oh, that means we didn't copy the right thing. So we copied the Synapse workspace, not the storage account. So can you go to the storage account? Can you go back to Tech for Dev Masterclass? Go back one, go to the storage account. Can actually get within Synapse, but I don't want you to navigate away from where you are. So go to the storage account, which is the last resource here. Yes. So copy this account. The file system name, can go back to the storage account. Go to containers. Containers is where you find the data. Go to containers on the left under data storage. So storage account has containers, file shares, queues, and tables. Containers is the folder where you like a folder. Yeah, that's where we will find the information. Click on containers. So here we're going to leverage this social media ADLS FS. So you can copy that. You can even open it to see what's inside now, and then you see what will be inside after we run the pipeline. I'll open it. Yeah. So currently, country coordinates is there because we uploaded that to it, but there's nothing else inside. Just copy this container, social media ADLFS. Yeah, by the time we run it, we'll see the folder will have been populated with more things. Then put in a key vault name. I think you have the key vault open somewhere in the previous tab. Yeah, you just copy that. And then query, you can put in whatever query you want to use. I used Central Bank of Nigeria and dollar because that's what I was interested in. But use whatever you're interested in. It could be any other thing. What about photography would you like to learn? Would you like to know about? You can put that on the topic. And if you don't select something on that topic, it will use the same thing. So if you have something specific on that photography that you want to learn about, it's always good to specify it on the value, on that topic rather. If someone is planning their birthday shoot, you can put a space between birthday and shoot so that then okay. It's going to run. You know why it's not asking you? So if you click on add trigger, it's going to run now, but hold on, let me just explain something. There's trigger now, and there's new or edit. New or edit allows you to set up a schedule. Why is it failing to run? Can you click on view edit or view error details? You can get it under notifications. Error details. Okay, that's because the Spark job is not running already. You can try it again. Try it again. You don't need to close, don't cancel notifications. Better not to dismiss or just close. They always just fall sometimes. So add trigger and try it again. Or another thing you can do is to go back to manage, then go to the poll and start the poll. When you start the poll, go to manage on the very left, the last one. The last one. Yes. Go to Apache Spark polls. Yeah, then click over on that Spark one. Currently, you need it to run. How do you run this now? So ideally, when you start running the code, it should run. Can you click on it? No, and on Spark one, just click on Spark one. Okay, it's fine. Let's just go back and run it again. Run the pipeline again. Start to run. If it doesn't run, then we'll just go to the first one. Or you can go to any of the notebooks. Go to the notebooks on that develop. On that develop. Yes. Go to the first one. Run the first cell. You see a play button. Run the first cell on the left. There's a play button. On the left, no, don't run all. Just the first one. There's a play, no, beside the first cell, there's a play button. Yes. Run. That basically gets the poll to start running. So sometimes it's click on it again. Oh, it's saying the workspace has a 12 core limit. Try reducing the number of vCores requested or increasing your vCore quota. Okay, let's quickly do that. It's a good thing that we're seeing this error. Go to manage. Yeah, click on the Spark one. Go to configuration. Scroll down. Sorry, are we on manage or monitor? It appears that you're on monitor and not manage, because I should see an option to edit this. Just opening mine as well. Okay, you're actually in the right place. Maybe we would have to do that from, okay, skill settings. Yeah, the same place you are, over on it, and then go to the 3 dots. Yeah, skill settings. Yes. So here we're just going to, if you scroll down, dynamically allocate executors. Can you enable that? Yeah, then node size, just leave it as medium. You don't need large. Leave it as medium. Node size. You have it as large, node size. Can you change that from large to medium so that we don't expend all our money?
Where is it?
At the very top, you see node size just before node size just before auto scale. That large. Can you see node size? Okay. Yes. You can keep it as medium. Yeah, that's fine. The number of nodes, you may increase it from 6 to 12. So just, you can expand the second round button. Oh yeah, you can make it out here. 12, yeah, it's fine. Then apply. So this is just adjusting some of the settings so that we don't have those errors that we're having. So let's try to run the first notebook again. So go back to develop and notebook. You can try to run this again. The first cell. Click on it again. Okay, it is just applied the settings. So click on it again. Can you click on it again? Or publish all? First, publish all. All right, publish. Yeah, run. Okay, we're going to increase the vCores again. I think we kept it at 8 vCores, right? Let's just increase it to large. This is where then the feedback I'm going to give to the team. So 3 buttons. You can make it large. Apply. Publish. You go to the pipeline again. That notebook, yeah. Try to run this. I'm not sure that stopped. Okay, yeah, it has successfully applied. Okay, now this is not because of that. So can you this attached to Spark one? Can you unattach it and attach it again? Yeah, let's try to run it again. It shouldn't give. Okay, can you refresh the page?
Hi, Mary.
Yes, we are out of time, I know.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Yeah. Hopefully, once this issue is sorted, we won't have other issues, and then we can round up, because this is the last thing to do, and then basically open the Power BI report and connect it to it. Okay.
Okay,
So
then.
try running
Is
it
it
again.
possible for us to do this in like the next 15 minutes? So we can just round up
Sure,
every
sure.
and then it's to be done.
So we should be able to do that.
Okay, all right. Thank you to everyone who has been on this call so far. It's been an amazing session. I'm sure you'd agree with me. If you just check the meeting chat, we have put a link there for you to drop your feedbacks on how the masterclass was. Kindly make sure you feel it so that we'll just get to know how to make prospective master classes much better for you. And please don't go away yet. We still have a picture session very soon. So please stay. Thank you.
Can we go back to the settings of the Spark poll? It's still giving me the same error, and we've increased the because. Go back, yeah, that 3 dots. So it's not recognizing the. Are we under manage? No, this is SQL poll. Go to Apache Spark poll. This is SQL poll. You're on. Go to under analytics poll. You see SQL poll. Yeah. So you're good, and this is the exact. I'm actually even using a medium 8-core 8 core 64 gig. Yes, this is exactly what I have. So it shouldn't be giving you this error. Okay, copy the error for me. Let me just let me check this out. Go back and run it and run the notebook. Go to ingest process suite. Yeah, copy it and put it on chat first. I'll be. Yeah, thank you. Now go to ingest process suite and try to run it also there while I check what's going on. The same thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, some people. It looks like this is an issue within Azure, which is not okay. Can you go back to the Spark poll setup? Yeah, let's just now a disclaimer. You don't need as much vehicles to run this, but we're just going to extend it just in case there's something happening behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. So let's make the node size a bigger size if there's one. And then number of nodes, we can increase it. It's currently showing as 12, so let's make it 24. Yeah. And then apply. Try running the first one. Oh, it should finish actually. I don't think that's finished applying. Right? It hasn't finished applying yet, has it? It's successfully applied settings.
Do I have to publish?
Yeah, you can publish. Let's just be on the safe side and publish. Yeah, you can run that. Okay, that's fine. What we're going to do is can you go into the Synapse workspace? The Synapse workspace. So here we're in the Synapse Studio. Go back to the Azure portal, the one next to it, the tab next to it, where you are currently. Oh, fine, you can use that. Go to Synapse or go to the resource group. Yes. Click there. Click on Synapse workspace. Synapse workspace. Yeah. Go to the analytics pool. You see Azure Spark, Apache Spark pool. Click on it. Under analytical polls, you see Apache Spark polls. Yeah, click on it. Okay, I've actually made changes here. So to be honest, this shouldn't be, as in whatever issue we're experiencing, it doesn't look like something, as in it's not related to the code, it's more related to the service at the moment, which might be a temporary thing. So for the sake of time, you can try it again later, Juliet, but I guarantee you that you're doing the exact right thing. For the sake of time, I'll just share my screen. And then I'm going to show you. So once that's the last step, really. And ideally, the resources that you created before should suffice to run the pipeline. You shouldn't have to increase the number of vehicles or increase all of that. But right now, it appears that the service is, there's something going on within the service, and I have to also raise a support ticket to understand exactly what is going on. But what you need to do next is to open the Power BI report template in the repository. You can open it from the local folder that you have cloned
I
to
just
your
want
PC.
to ask something. Is it not
Yes,
related?
please.
You asked me to type something. Did I type it correct?
Yes, you did. And I did go on, see, I went online to check what's going on. And then I saw that some people had this issue at a previous time. So this was last year. And then some people had to raise a support ticket to increase the VCOR quota. You don't have to raise a support ticket. It's something that you can do. What we try to do that to increase the VCOR quota. And as you can see, it's requesting a 24 VCOR to run the Spark job, and we already have that. So what's currently happening, I can't explain it. It's probably something I have to raise a support ticket for, but I'm almost like 90 something percent sure that if you try it again in the next few minutes or hours, it's most likely will run. You have everything set up in your code very well.
Okay.
I showed you mine. Mine is this is what I have in mine. I'm going to open up mine.
So I should stop sharing then.
Yeah, I already took over sharing. I just did that. So here's my workspace that I ran recently. This is what I have in my settings. So it's a medium node size. A small one should even suffice. Number of nodes is 3 to 12. And number of executors is 1 to 2. And it works very well for me. So I'm able to go here, go into pipelines, trigger now, and then click on trigger now. And then I put in all of those details that I want to get information on. And then I click on trigger and then to run. So once it runs, all you need to do is, you see it in notification when it's successful. And you can always go to the monitor tab as well. In fact, that's one thing I think you should do. You can go to the monitor tab and close everything that is currently running. So if you have anything that is running at the moment, you can close it just to ensure that it's not impacting on the resource. And how you do that is to go to the pipeline runs and click on cancel. But this one is running. I want it to complete the run. But the very next step in that case is to go to the GitHub repo, wherever you downloaded the repo to, you would have the Power BI template. So I downloaded mine to a folder called Tech for Dev. So I downloaded this is the template directly as it comes from the GitHub repo. So I have it open already, but what I have open is the one I've already put the connection, like done the get data related thing and connected it to. So I'm just going to open the template itself so that I can show you what you need to do. For the template, you need two things, and that's specified in this GitHub repo. You need this, enter the Synapse serverless SQL endpoint and default in the Power BI template when prompted. If you don't have any data in Synapse yet, that is, if the pipeline does not run, you would get some errors in Power BI after you have imputed that. And the errors are basically saying that it's not seeing data, right? So ideally, you want to make sure that the pipeline has run successfully before you do this. Screen is frozen. It's back. Trying to bring this. Okay, I see what's happening. Let me stop sharing and share my other screen. Okay, so this is the template. It's asking me to put in the SQL endpoint and the database. what's the SQL endpoint? The SQL endpoint is on the Synapse workspace. So you open the Synapse workspace. Just going to bring in that browser here instead. Go to Synapse. Look for the resource code. This is my Synapse workspace. In the overview section, I'll see the serverless SQL endpoint. So this is what I'm going to copy. So when you copy it, you put it here in your Power BI report. And then you put default here, right? And then you load. So once you load this, it loads all of the folders that it has created. Because when you run the pipeline, what happens is that it puts under here. This is the Synapse workspace. I can as well access it from the studio, like the data from the studio. So it creates, or I can access it from the storage account. So sorry, linked is where I should go to. This is data lake storage. The one we viewed earlier, similar to what you have, Juliet. So here, it has created some folders for me. So you can see there's a tweet data, tweet handles data, tweet hashtag data, tweet media data, tweet URL data, tweet users data, and there's content within all of this. So that's what is going to be, that's what Power BI is going to be connecting to and loading. So once it loads it, you'll be able to see everything just like I'm seeing on this particular page here. I'm not able to, it's waiting. Trying to expand this, okay. Probably it takes a lot of memory, so sometimes it freezes the system when I have like several ones open. But yes, once you make the connection and it loads the data, you should see this, and then you can choose to edit your Power BI dashboard however you want it to be. But yeah, this is what it looks like. You don't have to do any other thing because the template is right there for you. And you can see all of the data that you're interested in seeing here. And that's it. That's the end of the masterclass. So I do apologize that we're having the issue that we're currently having in you see, I also have some error. So, you know, this is funny for me because this pipeline ran successfully before now. And I would have to understand what's going on at the moment. This one seems like a different error. Yeah, it seems like a different error, and I have to actually go into it and then really understand exactly why I'm facing this error. But yeah, and I think like the mention that we can do is to here within the notebooks try to run this. So you need to, if you're running just notebooks without a pipeline, you need to populate this data, populate the data lake account name, the file system name, the key vault name, the query, and the topic. Once you do that, that's fine. You can run all or just run each cell individually, and then we'll see exactly where the error is coming from. But of course, we've taken a lot of time out from the troubleshooting, and I'm not able to do that now. But hopefully one of you or more of you can run it successfully. And you can always connect with me. We can go through it and troubleshoot whatever error you're having at a later time. So at this point, I'll stop the masterclass. It pains me that we're not able to complete one run at least. Well, yeah, it is what it is.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so very much. That was such an insightful session. I mean, it was loaded, and I know that there are quite a number of persons who agree with me. So I'd like to see your comments in the chat box. How was this whole session for you? I mean, it's 2 days packed masterclass, and this is a lot that quite a number of people would charge you like a whole lot to get to learn. And Mary did it all for us for free. So please, I want the chat box to please be buzzing with so much what you learned. I can see Ayade saying it's indeed a master class. Yes, it is. And I can see Olade saying thanks so much. It's so loaded. Kanti Precious saying thanks a lot, Mary. Omobolaji is saying a lot is spinning through her head right now. I understand that. Okay, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, thank you so much, Mary. Very insightful." Yes, I think it was so insightful. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I would like for us to quickly take some pictures. That's the next thing that we have to do. So I already enabled it so that everyone can turn on their videos. So please, I'd like for everyone to please turn on their videos if you can, if you are in a place where, if you are in a good enough place, a conducive environment, kindly turn on your video. Hi, Mary. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't seem to see your video on anymore. We just need to take pictures, just, a little something for the gram to just capture this moment. I can see Marianne saying the session was packed with value. Yes, it was. It so was. Right. So and I would like for us all to make use of the things that we learned make use of the things that we learned in today's session. I mean, today's session is not just for you to just go back to things, but you've learned a whole lot about data analysis and just how to make use of it for just how to make use of it for social media, analyzing social media data, and so much. So there is a lot that you can go back to and make use of. Okay, I can see Mary now. Anyone else would like to turn on their video so we can have quite a number of persons on. So we can have quite a number of persons showing in the picture that will be taken. Okay, I can already see Belinda's video on. I can see Latobi's video on. I can see Precious's video on. Just give me a minute so I can change my view so that I'll be able to capture as many people as possible. Okay.
Good to put it's good to put faces to the names, especially those of you who have been very active.
I know, right?
Yes. I see Juliet, I see Ayode, I see Toby, I see Olaide, I see Oluchi, I see Marianne, I see Precious. Lovely. I see Omopalaji.
All right.
Lovely.
Oh, I'm seeing something about some people can't turn on their videos. I enabled it so that everyone on the call should be able to turn on their video. But if you can, and of course, my favorite part, we'll all be unmuting our mics and saying all be unmuting our mics and saying women in tech. I don't know. I feel like that's what we are. So are we all ready? We'll be taking our picture in 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1, you just unmute and say women in tech. Are we good to go?
All right.
So,
Yes.
all right. So 3, 2, 1.
Women in
Women
tech.
in
Women in tech.
Yes, I can see that. I know what I'm saying. So thank you so very much.
Who is wearing my color? Vivian.
Yay!
Thank Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate it. Thank you once again, Mary. It was such an insightful session. All the pictures have been taken, so you can turn off the video if you want to now. But thank you so much, Mary. It was really an insightful session, and we are super glad that you were able to honor our invite. Thank you to everyone who came on this call,
You're
to
welcome.
those who were here yesterday and even here today too. Thank you so much for showing up. So please, ladies,
Thank you to our
go make use of what
facilitator.
you've
Thank
learned.
you to Mary.
Thank you.
Please go make use of what you've learned, and storm LinkedIn, storm Twitter, storm
Thank you, Mary.
Instagram.
You're
Tell everyone
welcome.
what you've learned. And also, I'd just like to reiterate once again, please, we have a feedback link, just in case you'd like to give any feedback as to some things that could have been better, some things that were really good that you'd love to see much more. I'll just post it once again. I also posted Mary's LinkedIn profile on the chat section, so you can quickly hop onto that and connect with her on LinkedIn. And also, I hope we all feel the attendance, because for everyone who has been requesting for resources, we'll be sending it to all those who feel the attendance. So if you did, I'm posting it once again. And the chat section, I think I would wait till like 2 p.m. before I finally close this chat section. So I'm posting Mary's LinkedIn once again for everyone. So please make sure that you follow Mary on social media. And of course, you have to be following Tech for Dev if you want to know more about amazing masterclass sessions that we organize like this. Please make sure that you're following Tech for Dev on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. Thank you once again, Mary. Thank you once again to everyone who attended this, and would be bidding everyone adieu at this point. Bye, and have a wonderful Saturday. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all of the sacrifices that you needed to make. Thank you. I appreciate it. I look forward
Thank you
to
for your sacrifices too.
whatever you're going to develop after this.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you too.
Thank you
It was
so
nice
much,
being
Mary.
here.
Cheers.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye, everyone. Make sure you fill the forms. Please make sure you fill the forms. Thank you. Bye, everybody.